Can you hear me? Can't hear anything.
Yes, do you hear me?
Can hear you, yeah. How are you? I miss you.
Miss you too, you look good.
Oh yeah, you know, here in paradise.
I know, the best place on earth.
Ujú. Me das un segundito, mi amor, tengo un meeting. Vale, y luego hacemos las horas. Vale, pero tengo un meeting de legal license. Gracias. You look really good.
Thank you, I slept today. You remember this place?
I know, I miss it. Yeah. Coming back soon.
Please, do. We need you.
I have to. The hotel is doing good. The hotel is doing really good. And I have a new manager who's like really good and I'm happy with him.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, but the hotel is full.
Hi guys. Sorry to interrupt, but could you
Hi guys.
the line open, please?
How are you?
For everyone who's joining, if you could please.
Hello, I'm sorry. I am,
That what's going to be?
Well, it's gonna be, yeah, the expectation that is.
Yeah, hi, everyone, for who's signing in, please, the chat.
I'm sorry. This is Mitchell Siegel. I represent
Okay.
Lamia's Fish House.
Thank you. All right,
Fish
I'm
market.
making an announcement. Hold on one second.
And I apologize. I'm in 2 community board meetings at the same time. So
Okay.
can we shut this off and take care of that?
Everyone, Jesse, can you hear me?
Michelle, yeah, Michelle, you
Let me
can
Lamia.
switch over if you want.
Okay.
I can
Right.
try
Sorry,
and
I wasn't sure if everyone could hear me because everyone was talking over me, but please sign into the chat if you're here. For any reason, if you'd like to speak on an item, please note that in the chat. Let me know who is here for which item. We will also ask you to raise your hand when that item comes up,
I don't know what this-
just to confirm that you're still wanting to talk. But please sign into the chat so we have a sense of who is here for what. And all the other rules are up on the screen. So please let us know if you have any questions and we will start in 1 minute.
I'm not muted, but where is the chat button?
Okay, I see Jesse, I see Herman, I see Paul. Let me just ping David. And just a reminder for everyone, please do not use the chat for any substantive comments. The chat is purely for any technical issues that you have and to sign in. We will call on you if you would like to be called on during the item when it comes up. So yeah, please use the chat only for signing in and for technical issues, and we can help you with those. There are 4 of us here, so there is a quorum. So I'm going to get the meeting started. So be respectful of everyone's time. My name is Michelle Cooper-Smith. I am the chair of Manhattan Community Board 3's SLA and DCA licensing committee. Welcome to our first April meeting. We will start We'll start the meeting by doing the roll call, which I will take. Okay, Michelle Cooper Smith, present. Jesse Beck,
Here.
David Crane. David. Herman Hewitt.
Here.
Hello, Herman. Ellen Liu. Alex Militano. Paul Sierros.
Here.
Still no David. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna get started. Thank you to the committee members who are here this evening, and special thank you to Jesse, who magnanimously volunteered to help with the Zoom tonight. So please bear with us. It's our first time teaming up on this. As I mentioned, this meeting is being recorded. Oh, there's David Crane.
I got him.
Thank you. This meeting is being recorded. Please sign into the chat room, the chat box if you have not yet. And if you'd like to speak on a specific item, please note that. As I said, this is being used to sign in, to sign up, and to talk about technical issues, and that chat will only go to Jesse and Jesse and me. I will announce when each agenda item comes up so the public can raise their hands. I'm asking for folks to use the Zoom raise hands. If you're having trouble with that, just let us know in the chat. If you would like to speak, we'll ask for you to keep it to a 2-minute time limit. Our Jesse will be timing you on his phone, so it won't be taking over the screen this time. We'll see how that goes. If you're here representing a specific community group or any group, please select 2 speakers to represent your point of view. And you can also tell me how many people are here on your behalf. We'll note that, if there are 30 people here, we'll note that, for example. Please keep yourself muted unless you've been recognized to speak so that we can avoid background noise. Okay. Jesse, did you notice if I think I'm seeing a bunch of folks signed up for number 8. Does that sound right?
My chat is not coming through, so I'm wondering if that because I'm co-host, I don't see it. So I'll leave that. I'll trust that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can make you the host. Okay, I'm gonna make you the host.
Got it.
But can you make me co-host now so that I can share my screen when I need to? Or Manhattan Community Board 3, can you make co-host, excuse me.
Okay.
There you go. We're good. Thank you. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I will say that I have seen a bunch of folks signing up in the chat to speak on item number 8, which is Froth. Are the applicants for that here yet by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, great. So just so you guys, everyone knows, I reserve the right to go a little bit out of order from the agenda just to be respectful of residents' time if they appear here this evening to talk on their specific item. So because we have a bunch of folks here for number 8, Froth and 90 Rivington, we'll skip to that one. I'm going to do my best, and Jesse, if you don't mind helping me with this, I'm going to, I'll send you the link for the application so that everyone can follow along if they'd like. I don't think I can message everyone. Oh, never mind, I can. Okay, here's the link for the application if folks would like to follow along. I will just hit on sort of the top points from the application, and then we'll ask the applicants to clarify anything that I said. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is an application for 90 Rivington Street between Ludlow and Orchard Street. The applicant is Froth New York LLC. It's for a new full on-premises liquor license. This is a currently unlicensed cafe space. The proposed hours of operation are Sunday to Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 1 a.m., Thursday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. There are 41 full OPs within 500 feet of this application, according to the applicant and to the SLA. one clarifying question that I have upfront, applicants, is in your questionnaire, I think I counted a total of 19 seats, but the certificate of occupancy is only for 16, I believe. Is that something that you'll think about revising with the Department of Buildings?
Yes, and I'm not sure if you were, we did send a kind of updated floor plan and drawing over earlier today. Not sure if that reached you.
Yeah, oh, just when you send, unfortunately, if you send us stuff the day of, it sometimes does not get through to us because we have day jobs. So do you want me to just update that? How many seats are you anticipating having?
Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. It's pretty much 10 seats.
Okay, so 10 seats at 4 tables, 8 seats.
Yeah, four tables. There's a kind of a small bar on the window. And I'd be happy to share my screen, and so the whole
You
member.
can just tell me how many seats you think.
10.
Well, sorry, at the bar, we separate in our resolution.
So yeah, no 0 bar seats.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay. So I'm just going to start committee if you don't mind. My understanding from your application is that one of you is Thatcher there.
Yep, that's me.
Okay, cool. That you hold a license at 527 Broome Street. Is that accurate?
Yep, it's technically 525, but yeah.
Okay.
Her name was Carmen.
Okay, 525.
I have one on
Okay.
Woodlow as well, and right around the corner, Kind Regards.
Okay. Yeah, so we have, just so everyone knows, I have for you Garrett, 206 Avenue A, Make Believe, 190 Allen Street, Kind Regards, 152 Ludlow, and her name was Carmen, 525.
Yeah, I own Make Believe in the 60 LES, but I'm not on the liquor license because that's a hotel management deal.
Yeah. Okay, so I sent some of this to the committee already. So committee, do you have any questions before I go ahead? No, okay. So we have done some due diligence on your operations. I'll just run through it.
Sure.
For her name was Carmen, my understanding from the stipulations that were signed for that there should be no DJs, no dancing, and only quiet background music. But when we looked at online reviews, there were many mentions, probably in all of them on Yelp, about dancing. Sometimes mentioning dancing in the basement, sometimes just the bar turns into a dance floor. And at least one online review that said that the patron danced until 3:30 a.m., even though the stipulations clearly only allow the latest operation as 3 a.m. on Saturdays, every other night earlier than that.
Right.
It also appears that the operators have let your temporary certificate of occupancy lapse, and that you did not get an updated place of assembly permit, which is potentially problematic because of the large space there. We are also aware from a representative of the North Avenue A Block Association that the Garrett, which is on Upper Avenue A, which has traditionally been a problem spot, that this has been a disruption to the neighborhood, that because of large noisy lines, and that there was unsuccessful mediation between this neighbor, the NYPD, and the operator in May 2018 that did not address the issues, mainly that the line outside is unruly, loud, and includes smoking. And at 190 Allen Street, which is where Make Believe is, a roof deck on the 7th floor. The stipulations that the operator signed in 2018 with CE3 clearly did not allow dancing or DJs and only allowed background music, but I'm just going to share my screen for a second so we can look at a video that was posted online recently from this location. Okay, can everyone see my screen? This TikTok? Jesse, you can see it? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right.
That was a private event, but okay.
The residents can't see it.
Okay, so from what I can see there, there's clearly a DJ, there's clearly dancing, and moreover, in some ways more concerning to me, not COVID compliant. It's very clear that that's an indoor space by DOT definitions, which does not allow any of that type of operation now. This is posted by the operator who's applying tonight, who's here on his personal TikTok feed. So it's public. It just came up on my feed actually. Committee, do you want to say anything, or do you want to give the applicants a chance to say something about what I just run through?
Let them speak, see what they have to say.
Okay, Jesse, you good?
Yeah, fine by me.
Okay, all right, go ahead, applicants.
That video was from a private event on Saturday. And the indoor outdoor for that space is a bit of a gray area. I mean, there are 2 terraces. The roof does come off, and it was removed. I mean, on a sunny day when it's 60, 70 degrees, it's removed. That section, it's covered because of the just that area. But I mean,
Everyone was
seated.
seated.
People were sitting down. I mean, it wasn't like
I didn't see.
we weren't over capacity at all.
Maybe if we could just kind of start from the top, we'll kind of give everyone, the community here, a overview of what Froth is. So Froth, 90 Rivington Street.
I think we're just mostly just so that we can be respectful of everyone's time. We're really just interested in like the actual operations of what you're planning, like hours.
Yeah, of course.
Et cetera. All right, thanks. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Thanks.
Yep. So Froth, it's a cafe. It's where we're planning to be open between either 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. It's gonna be a full service coffee. Lattes, iced lattes, cold brew, oat milk, full service, beautiful coffee shop and cafe. It has an amazing history with Moby running Teeny there for about 15 years, and then it being the good kind until we recently took it over. They had to close mostly due to COVID reasons, but we have a great relationship with the past owner. We actually bought her espresso machine from her to kind of help her out. So we're very excited to open it as a cafe, and then also to we're pursuing a liquor license to make it a kind of espresso martini bar at night, which is going to be something completely unique and different to the neighborhood. We said this is not going to be a large venue. It's less than 400 square feet. There's our current floor plans are for 10 seats. It's going to be a very, very small, intimate space.
We're not gonna have like a DJ or dancing or anything. I mean, it's a cafe.
And it is also going to be something unique and kind of special to the neighborhood. If I do have a chance to kind of share my screen, I'd love to just kind of go over the renderings and kind of show everyone that like we're putting a lot of money, investment, work, time into the space. We're going to make it extremely beautiful. We don't want to be everything that's kind of down the block from us. This is to kind of elevate the Lower East Side. Bring something different, upscale. We need a liquor license because it is New York City, and people do like to go out. People do like to go to the Lower East Side. We're around the corner from Ludlow House, and we kind of share a similar kind of creative, upscale clientele. People that are looking forward to a something cool spot for after dinner drinks. It's going to be an espresso martini focused bar.
Is it a cafe or a martini spot?
So it's a cafe that will be espresso martini.
After
At night.
Post 7 p.m. It would turn into it would just be able to.
So it's not a cafe.
It is a cafe.
It's a cafe and an espresso martini bar at night.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks. And just, you guys know, like everyone has I appreciate you offering to share your screen, but I put the questionnaire in the chat so they can get a sense of what you're describing. Susan, I know you had your hand up. Would you like to weigh in?
I just wanted to mention, inform the applicants. stipulations cover all operations anytime the business is opened. I'm kind of surprised you think that you don't have to follow stipulations during private events, but they're part of your method of operation on the license, and you should adhere to them all the time.
Thanks, Susan. Committee members, do you have any questions for the applicants? Herman, Paul, David?
The only statement I want to make, and I'll keep repeating it, is that I find out every time some operator comes in the Lower East Side and said they're going to elevate the Lower East Side as if we, if we are some non-entities that lives in the neighborhood, and that your operation is going to be upscale, which means nobody that lives in the neighborhood could walk into any one of your businesses and purchase something at reasonable prices, only tells me that your business have no community benefit. And
I would like to kind of
let me finish. You could answer later. I'm talking from what I get from you. You could correct me afterwards, right? So it tells me functionally that the way you present it, what you mean is a different thing. The way you present it, it tells me that there is no community benefit to be realized from your business. And with so many other liquor licenses within that area, and you should have realized that with all the business you already have, why would you need to open something else, knowing the atmosphere in which you would be opening that business, pandemic or not?
Okay. Anything else?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so just kind of, I'm not sure what you're referring to as, like, people of the community, like, and like prices. I mean, we haven't really even mentioned prices. We're starting with a $4 kind of latte, which is very standard. $12 for an espresso martini, which is on the low end for New York City. I mean, we're gonna have breakfast tacos during the morning, baked goods. I mean, it's gonna be a full-fledged cafe. And what makes us different is that we are a true and traditional cafe that will, there's nothing like it in the neighborhood. There's no coffee bars, cafes there's no espresso martini bar in the neighborhood. So that kind of just sets us off as being different. And I sent Susan and Edwin earlier a petition from I think there was about 18 signatures of they weren't necessarily on the specific block, but everyone was from the surrounding kind of block and Lower East Side neighborhoods. Pretty much, we are a millennial driven clientele. It's people 23 to 33, our age group, our friends. So to say that, not everyone in the neighborhood, or the entire neighborhood doesn't want to go there,
I mean, we are, I hear your point. We try to have our places be totally approachable to anyone, all ages, any demographic. I own Kind Regards half a block away, and it's a very approachable bar. Our prices are not crazy compared to a lot of other places. We're very welcoming to anyone.
So is it a bar or is it a coffee shop?
And it's a cafe, and it's a martini bar night.
I own businesses, and this is weird.
This is why we're different, because we want to be weird. We want to be different.
Yeah, we're not trying to be the same as what everyone.
But you know what? We don't need any more martini.
Excuse me, please. You can't interject like that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
No.
I have, our friends live in the neighborhood. They might not be the same age as everyone on this board, and but they are, if this is something different. This is cool. We're trying it out. We don't even know if it will work. We're hoping it will. It's a new concept, and it's something new, and it's something different. And so, you know, we hope that, you know, this is it. We feel like it's going to be exciting for the neighborhood. It's going to be different. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. And we're called Froth. It's going to be fun. It's going to be opening, welcoming, inviting. We've been working, you know, extremely hard on this project. It's a tiny footprint. It's not going to attract, you know,
it's not going to be hair of the dog. We're not going to, you know, have like kids getting wasted, falling over the sidewalk. Like, that's not my clientele at all.
Okay, I'm just gonna cut you guys off. Thank you. Jesse, Paul, David, I think David, you have a question?
No, I'm good. I'm good to move to going to get to the residence. Whenever you're ready. I'm good though.
David Crane, do you?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you did. Okay. Paul, are you good if we go to residence, or do you want to say something? Okay, go ahead, Paul.
My problem is, like Susan said, the past stipulations. And if they don't adhere to the past stipulations, this is in the heart. I used to live there for like 15 years. It's like, it's the heart of everything. And I'm not that old. Okay. I still go out. I still party. Like, this is like, you have to adhere to the stipulations. Susan was 100% right. I mean, so we have to do something about that. If it's my take on this, if it's a coffee place, they don't need for liquor for that many hours. And they had to adhere to it, because if they did that before and just now, COVID or not, it has nothing to do with COVID. The stipulations are there, COVID or not. They weren't, you know, no DJs means no DJs. It's pretty clear. So,
okay.
Yeah, I would like to say that, you know, Thatcher on all of his other properties does have, you know, different owners. That the 60 LES owns Make Believe. So
I'm not even on that liquor license.
Yeah, he's not on that liquor license. Like,
yeah, then so don't put it on that you guys control it. You know, control is, that means you control it or you don't control it.
Understood.
Okay.
If I have no DJs, I will let somebody else who comes in,
yeah,
put a DJ there.
And I mean, this is also, you know, it is a new application. That's, I mean, we're not looking for a DJ because this is a very small space. There's no need for a DJ.
We were looking for a DJ before, and there was a DJ there. That's what Susan was trying to say before.
What does, if, I mean, like, this is actually just like kind of like a question. If a venue isn't following stipulations, isn't there like something?
No, it's very, very, very difficult. It's very, very, very difficult, as I described what is happening with the Garrett, that it's very, very difficult to have anything happen. And that is why you're hearing from people, and I'm sure you'll hear from the community something very similar, that especially when there's this is a lesson for you guys if you're continuing to operate in this district, that if you're applying for an unlicensed space, there's going to be a much higher level of scrutiny, because there is a tendency for the SLA at the state level to approve liquor licenses in already licensed spaces. So that's just the reality of what we're dealing with. And so there's a higher bar though when you're applying for an unlicensed space, because a lot of people have been burned by the, you know, the reality of where they live. So I'm going to go to the community now. If folks who want to speak can raise their hands. I mean, I think you can hear where the committee is going. So I'll ask you, if you'd like to speak on this item, to just raise your hand and to keep your comments as short as possible. I think you've already heard where we're going with this. So, okay, the first, Jesse, are you ready to start timing?
Yeah, and just as a reminder for everyone, as a way to try and not be as intrusive with the timer on the screen, and so that we can still see everyone, I'm just going to time it on my phone. We'll see if it works this evening. If it's not, we'll go back to it, but just as a heads up on that. So I'm ready.
Great, thank you, Jesse. All right, the first person I saw was Nora Breen. Go ahead, Nora.
Thank you. Thanks to the board for having the meeting. And yeah, I'm just going to echo what other people have said. These are my points. The elevating of the Lower East Side, and it being upscale. Yeah, there's lots of elevation already there. Thank you very much. The 500-foot rule, which is constantly being tread all over. I don't understand. As the chairwoman said, there's 40 some liquor licenses within, however many feet, 500 feet. And there were and there are cafes. When you say like there's no coffee shops and stuff, as long as we keep giving liquor licenses and making this neighborhood only liquor licensed establishments, we will not have a rich and diverse business district that we used to have. At some point, we have to say no. And so there were plenty of cafes, but they got priced out. So thank you. I'm opposed. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Nora. The next person I see is DM Boyd. DM, are you ready?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Michelle, for due diligence on this. It backs up much of the things we were going to say, so I don't have to go over. In fact, make believe, just for clarification point, he may not be on the license, but he is known as the promoter of all the events in that thing. He drives that space. So I can send all kinds of TikToks and Instagrams and whatever of the kind of operator, but you've already covered that. More importantly, yes, it's an unlicensed space. There is a glitch on the SLA website that you should be aware of, that we informed them. When you do the records, it does not pull up, weirdly enough, the hotels in the area or the, which are also OP licenses, as well as the club. So you're not including in that count. We also have the Ludlow houses, which is right there, the Hotel Rivington, and 2 other hotels around that area, plus the wraparound that's coming. So you have to put that in understanding of the public benefit threshold that they need to meet, which a new license will not do. On top of that, I just want to, there's also 4 pending OPs exactly in that area that you guys approved a few months ago that were wine license that got upgraded, and 1 unlicensed space. More importantly, contrary to what has been told that the SLA is going to rubber stamp everything, that is not true. We received from Community Board 1 a very, very strong recommendation to deny, based support from the Community Board in an unlicensed space. And they talked about traffic, noise, Uber, and everything like that. So you really should consider all those things, that this is not a slam dunk. And these operators, no matter what they say, their history of Thatcher's, other businesses in the area speak volumes. Kind Regards is not this great, easy, it actually has lots of complaints. The lines and everything are actually atrocious. So please consider that. And Jesse, we want to thank you for implementing this idea of not the obtrusive clock. I think it will help the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Yam. Okay, the next hand I see is Ellen.
Hi, I'm Ellen, and I'm sorry I was so rude. I didn't realize. And I was late, and I don't know all the specifics. What I do know is I'm a single mother. I live on Rivington Street with my 13-year-old daughter, and it's a nightmare here. And I very much appreciate that you guys think it's cool, and you want to be cool, and you want something new and different. But I don't want any more alcohol in my neighborhood. I wake up to vomit in my doorway. Not only am I a resident, but I have a tiny business on Ludlow Street. And as Nora has shared, we no longer have any kind of healthy community here because of all the alcohol and the bars. And so if you're a cafe, that's fine with me. I don't want an espresso martini. I don't drink, and I don't want anyone drinking espresso martinis, because I'm surrounded by people drinking and drunk, and the behavior that brings, and the noise. And I live 1 flight up facing the street, and I don't even know how to tell you how devastating it is to live here. And I wish I could leave, but I can't, because I have a rent stabilized apartment. So you don't live here, and I'm not a millennial, clearly, but guess what? I'm not a party pooper. I don't want any more alcohol. There weren't supposed to be liquor licenses handed out 10 years ago. I lived down here for 30 years. I have a business for 20, and it's just gutted. It's gutted. So I don't know. I'm not talking about all the specifics, and I'm sorry I was late and I missed it, but whatever you're selling, it's garbage, and we don't want it. We live here. I live here. You don't live.
We live here too. We do live here. We live on Ludlow Street.
Sorry. I just want to, I understand how it can be difficult to listen to. The point here is not to get into a back and forth. I understand it can be difficult to listen to this applicants, but please just let No, it's not your fault. I'm just asking the applicants not to interject because we're letting the
Okay,
community
well,
speak
so you
right
do
now.
live
So,
here, so you're my neighbor. Welcome to Ludlow Street. So, thank you.
okay. Thank you, Ellen. Okay, go ahead, David. David Troutman, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Unmute there, yeah. Well, thank you very much. I live about a block and maybe a quarter of a block away from this location. I think Herman Hewitt really hit the nail on the head when he said the questions the community benefit here on this, and also the issue of all the people who come to the Lower East Side and the Health Square area and want to elevate our area. They're really just running us down. We have enormous problems with noise and music, and you don't have to be a big space to blast the music out. And we see that with some of these places that serve alcohol, even in small spaces. So I think this is a very bad thing for our community. If you're going to be a cafe, be a cafe. There's plenty of cafes that don't serve liquor. The owner said himself, he doesn't know that they're going to be successful. And if he's not, we're stuck with another liquor license. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Okay, next hand I see is Kevin Gannon. Kevin, go ahead.
Hi, I'll just keep it short and simple. I'm on Orchard Street. I'm around the corner. For what it's worth, I am a millennial. I've lived here my entire life, and I just want to echo the importance of the 500-foot rule and how important it is for to have a basic livable life down here. Anybody who is questioning if we need another liquor license should just do, I'm sure we've all done it, walk down Rivington Street on a Thursday or Friday night at midnight. You'll see with your own eyes that it's an oversaturated area. And I worry about this being a potential bait and switch. I've seen so many applicants in the past who say, oh, we serve artisanal pizza, but at night we serve cocktails. And then slowly over time, the pizza kind of fades away and it just becomes another bar that we're stuck with. So thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Thanks, Kevin. The next hand I see is Elizabeth Dorkin. Elizabeth, go ahead. Okay, we'll come back to her. Daniel Tanow, I see you next. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Daniel Tanow, a resident of Rivington Street, in opposition of this license of this tiny, perfect for a cafe, bad for a bar. I live right down the street. I moved to this neighborhood because of the nightlife, but it's not also because of the cafes and other things. And we want retail diversity. A lot of our favorite places have their leases have come up, and because of the push to clubs, it's been they've been turned into they can't make it. So it's actually the bars that are forcing out the retail diversity that we want and the restaurant diversity that we want. So I'm in opposition to this license. Thanks.
Thanks, Daniel. Okay, the next hand I see is Irit.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Great. So I see no community benefit to this application. There's nothing special about what they're offering. We've heard the same from countless applicants before, that they will be different. There is nothing different about alcohol. To the applicants, try something different other than alcohol. You want to be special? Innovate. Stretch your thinking. Do something different. We need something different in this neighborhood. If you're residents, you'll notice we have plenty of alcohol. We need retail diversity. And furthermore, I am totally, completely insulted by your ageist comments. So you are not for the community. I am of this community, just like you.
Okay, thank you, Irit.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Dorkin, are you there this time?
Asking you to unmute. Hold on, I think.
Oh, okay.
No.
How many people might be there once it needs to converge on the sidewalk?
Elizabeth, can you unmute?
Okay. I see Patrick Walsh. Go ahead, Patrick. You have to unmute yourself.
Thank you. My name is Patrick Walsh. I live on Stanton Street, and I've lived here for 20 years with my wife and 16-year-old daughter. And I have seen this neighborhood just go to hell. And we have lived in impossible circumstances with the noise and the urine and all of this, the grotesque irresponsibility of the SLA. And it took, the fact that it took a global pandemic to make our lives okay for the past year or so is all you need, you know, that we could sleep at night. Already that's beginning to change. I am completely cynical about any martini cafe. This is, to my mind, I've seen this movie before. This is a bait and switch. And I am in complete opposition to this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Elizabeth, I'll try you one more time, but I'll count you as one of the people speaking against. I assume that you're against because you wrote in the chat.
Hey.
Elizabeth. Okay.
Michelle,
All right.
Michelle, we also have, I don't think Kate Maxwell is able to speak, but she posted in opposition as well. So we'll
Okay.
make of that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jesse.
Sure.
Okay, I'm just going to go back to the committee to see if the committee has anything else they want to ask the applicants before we move forward. Herman, Paul, David, Jesse. Okay.
I have
go ahead,
nothing.
Herman.
I have nothing else to say, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Herman. Okay, and applicants, I'll give you like 2 minutes to respond because I think we've heard a lot already and it's getting late. So please, please go ahead. Thank you.
Sorry, real quick, one more, and then you can just, I just want to add to get all the community.
Okay.
Michelle, there's one more. No, Kate Pruitt, she's unable to speak, but she also is in.
Got it. Okay, all right, thank you.
We'll record your notes.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Duncan.
So I mean, just to address the kind of the bait and switch, which we heard a decent amount. Everyone will see in the next 2 to 3 weeks as we open as a cafe. This is a coffee shop. Froth is a coffee shop. It's it's latte driven, working with some of the best kind of coffee sources in New York. We live right down the street, 152 Ludlow. Like I've been in the Lower East Side for 3 or 4 years now. Thatcher's been here for like 5 or 6. Like this is our home. This is our community just as much as everyone else. We want to work with the community. I was reaching out to the LES dwellers, see kind of what we can do if there's any special stipulations they had sometimes. Whether it's trash, whether it's noise, like what the main concerns are so that we can address those concerns and that we're professional operators. I've run 3 other companies. One's a medical supply company. We've been working kind of all through the pandemic, and this is kind of I've been dreaming of Froth as, and this time last year I was driving trucks, picking up face masks when everyone didn't know what the hell was going on in the world. And I was doing my best to kind of source and, helping companies, hospitals, everyone. And I have like a few other companies besides that. So like Froth is really, it's a coffee, everything's coffee driven menu. There's nothing like it, especially not on the Lower East Side. The only kind of comparable would be like Cobra Coffee in meat packing. So it is, I do believe, we do meet, unique goods and services, as well as, we're going to be a cultural benefit to the neighborhood. Moby's a huge inspiration to me. I've worked in electronic music for over 10 years. Music, culture. We have local artists coming in to kind of paint our walls. Like this is really everything that like a local coffee shop will be, and needs to be for the Lower East Side. And like we're here to make the Lower East Side better, and we want to work with the neighborhood. if we don't, we don't think we'll ever have a noise complaint. We're actually renting the apartment directly above us. We've met a bunch of our neighbors. Everyone loves us. Everyone's very excited about Froth. I think it's going to be something huge, just new, different, lively, colorful for the neighborhood, and everyone will see that, starting as soon as kind of May 1st as we open the cafe.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the committee discussion now.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think we got Ellen back. Ellen, are you?
Yeah, I was just like, we don't need lively. We're
Okay.
full. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. All right. Okay, committee time. I want to take a straw poll. I think we've heard a lot about this. Herman, how are you feeling?
No.
Okay, so you want to deny?
Yes.
Okay, David Crane.
Yeah, I don't want to create new license in that area, especially not if it's unclear whether stipulations can be followed. So I'm going to deny it.
Thanks. Paul Ciros, what are you thinking?
With those guys.
Okay.
Meeting with Herman and it's either a coffee shop or it's all over the place.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you. Jesse.
Yeah, I agree. It's too much for a new license in this area, so I'm a no.
Okay. I am leaning the same. So I'm going to share my screen. I basically read a lot of the resolution out loud already. Okay, committee, is there anything? Oh, committee, you can see that I included in here, I fixed the occupancy stuff. Here is sort of the meaty stuff that I was reading aloud at the beginning of this about the issues that we discerned from the applicants, and 18 local residents spoke to, or I should say spoke or attended the meeting in opposition. Some folks did not speak. Is there anything, committee, any amendment or anything that you'd like to see in here beyond what I've already included? And of course, here at the bottom would be a denial.
Can you highlight the paragraph? I'm sorry, go ahead, Herman.
No, go ahead.
Can you highlight the paragraph where we discussed the stipulations at the other location? Is it here?
Not being followed, you mean?
Right.
I think it's
yeah, so here's the one from her name is Carmen. Her name was Carmen, excuse me. Where the stipulations are not being followed. And this one above is the paragraph about the DJs. So here it's showing a DJ playing, no dancing.
Thank you.
Herman, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking if you have anything regarding oversaturation. A couple of people mentioned the 500-foot rule that they think it's it's not being conformed with based on the amount of liquor license in our neighborhood that have been approved.
Yeah, so I included it here in the final paragraph that therefore be it resolved, the community ward 3 recommends the denial of the application for a full on-premises liquor license, blah, blah, because of the overwhelming community opposition, lack of community benefit, and concerns for quality of life in an already saturated and problematic area.
Okay, yeah.
That's good?
Yes.
Okay, great. Jesse, Paul, okay, go ahead, David.
Yeah, it's probably good. I mean, it just sounds when it's read aloud, already saturated and problematic area is pretty tame description of it.
I
But
saw
the
that.
SLA will understand it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Jesse or Paul, anything? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Susan.
I was going to say the SLA is extremely aware of the nature of this particular neighborhood.
not what I really like having to go down.
Jesse or Paul, anything you want to add? Are you good?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna move it to a vote then.
One last question.
Sure.
I mean, once it gets to the SLA, it's kind of out of our control. And the 7 a.m. open time, okay, you may be serving coffee at 7 a.m., but
Okay. They were notified.
I don't know how, I don't know what you're going to do when you go to the SLA,
back-
but you
back
cannot
to the
ask for anything
graffiti.
even approaching.
It was an
someone
event that
else.
was incredible.
There's someone else.
Susan,
who's,
is that you?
Location.
Yeah, Susan.
Okay. It knocked the idea out of my head.
7
I hope that you won't go to the
SLA.
SLA to get to pursue this license. If you did, you've got to ask for something well into the evening or afternoon for start of the license. Any license that be, I mean, I don't even know what the earliest they would do. I'm aware of a bar in the city which opens at 8 a.m.
Yeah, that's purely for coffee shop hours.
David, do you want?
I
Do
would
you
hope
want me
so.
to
I
ask
would-
Susan?
Thanks.
Do you want to have Susan just weigh in on this because she's Susan? Do you have anything to say about this? If we deny? I think there's something playing.
Yeah,
There's something
I'm at
playing,
two,
Susan, in your background.
I'll go in the other room. I'm at two meetings. And I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't make, adjust the speaker on the other one. So I think the alcohol hours start at 8 a.m., but I don't think that's the issue. But I mean, are you voting to deny? Is the committee voting to deny? So then it's
Yes.
kind of, so then I would say everything else is irrelevant. I mean, the conversation about what they're going to ask for becomes irrelevant.
It does as far as what we put in the resolution. I guess I'm lecturing them. I'm like, do not even consider asking the SLA for
David, you're not gonna,
ability to serve alcohol, before the evening. And I hope that they listen to us, the SLA.
doesn't matter if they go to the SLA or not.
Yeah, I would suggest that that we kind of stick to our resolution.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to move it into a vote then. Jesse Beck.
So we're voting to deny, so yes, correct?
Yes. Thank you for clarifying. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like one of those ones at full board where we're
Yeah.
like no on an amendment.
It's
Okay.
like a yes,
Thank you,
no,
Jesse.
to not have it done.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Jesse. Herman Hewitt.
I'm voting against.
Well, the resolution is to
I'm
deny.
voting for yes for the yes on the motion.
Okay. Thank you. David Crane.
Yes.
Paul Sierros.
Yes.
Michelle Cooper Smith. Yes. Okay. So thank you to the community and to the applicants for coming tonight. We appreciate all of your time. We will now move on to the next item, which is, I reduced my screen too much. Okay. I didn't see, I'm just looking to see if, I think that was the only one that really had any people here. There's one person for Third Avenue. Okay,
I'm
I'm gonna go
sorry.
back.
I'm sorry if I may. I don't know if I missed, but I'm an attorney representing number 5 on the license committee agenda, Lamia's Fish Market. And I also have another community board meeting going on. So I'm not sure if I missed our time or we're later.
No, you
and I'm
didn't.
just,
Would you prefer to, are you waiting to be called on that other one? Do you have a preference? Your second.
I haven't heard from the other one yet, so it's your preference. I just wanted to check to make sure that we weren't missed. That's all.
Okay, let's go to that one actually, because I think there's at least one person here to speak on that, or at least to observe it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so obviously our applicants for Lamia's Fish Market are here. Let me just drop that application in the chat. I don't see it. lost. Okay. There we go. Okay, here's the questionnaire if folks would like to follow along. I'll hit the top points like I did for the last application. Okay, so this is a upgrade for an existing wine beer license at 45 Avenue B, Lamia's Fish Market, which has been operating since I think June 2019 in its current method of operation. Okay, got confirmation there. The current hours of closure are 12 a.m. every night. This application seeks an extension for those closing hours on Saturdays and Sundays to 1 a.m. There are either 8 or 9 current OP licenses within 500 feet, according to how you count on the very hard to count lamp map. We received 1 email in support of this application, 1 email against, and we received a memo from 2 other community members, not in opposition to the upgrade, but in opposition to the extension of the hours to 1 a.m. closing on the weekends. Is that all accurate, applicants?
I believe that is.
Okay, great. So just to give some context and background, the committee should already have this, but this location was previously extremely problematic for the neighborhood. It even resulted in the SLA revoking the liquor license for the prior operator, Le Souk. And our understanding is that the current applicant has at least some connection to that operation or the folks who operated that. There's a lot online that you can read about if you want to Google it. This committee the committee and the full board denied the application for the wine beer at least twice in 2016 and 2017, I believe, but the state SLA approved a wine beer license. And so these applicants have been operating since June 2019 with a wine beer. I think that covers all of it. Susan, is there anything else you wanted to just add?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're asking.
You're fine. Susan.
Are you asking the floor,
No.
or Susan? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, Susan. Are you good?
I don't think so. I think you got it all.
Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead, Mitchell.
Okay. Thank you very much. If I may. So
Sure.
It had some prior history, but the current history is more important than the prior history. And since June of 19, in 2 years, there have been no problems. And some superficial relationship to the past owners, I don't think is substantial or substantive. And I think that the premises has operated in a proper and reputable and caring manner within the community. And they're only seeking to add liquor and 1 hour on the weekends, which I don't think turns the club, from a princess into a witch, so to speak. So, I think it's proper to give them the authority to do that. They've really had no prior problems since the wine and beer was granted by the Liquor Authority, and they've operated properly in the community, and there really hasn't been any problematic situations there since. So I think they didn't wait. Normally it's a 6-month waiting period to come back to the community board. They waited almost 2 years. And I think it's warranted that you grant them the extension for liquor and the 2 additional hours they're seeking on the weekends. Thank you.
Thanks, Mitchell. And I apologize. I did not mention that there have been no commercial 301 complaints at this location with action required by NYPD since 2018, with the understanding that the operation started in June 2019. And I forgot to ask 2 things. In the application, there were, as one clarifying question about the rectangular bar, how many seats will be there? The 18-foot rectangular bar?
I don't think anything has changed from the prior application, but give me 1 second.
I just didn't see it in the application. That's, if you could just,
Well,
or-
it's 18 feet and I'm actually on that page right now. It just gives the tables and the seats.
yeah, I have 40 tables with 140 seats and one 18-foot rectangular bar, but I wasn't clear on how many seats would be at
I
the-
will, we could provide an affidavit by tomorrow as to the exact number of seats. I don't want to guesstimate. So I don't like to tell
Yeah,
anything I'm not
That's okay.
completely sure of, but I don't think it's many because I have visited the premises on occasion. And I don't know if I had to guess 10, but don't hold me to that number.
Okay, okay. Okay. I mean, we could put like with no more than 12 seats or something like that.
Not a problem.
Okay. Okay. And oh, one other thing. So on, according to the DOB website, there is a pending class 1 violation for work without a permit. Do you intend to deal with that?
We have been dealing with that. We've notified the landlord and that is in the process.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the applicant will resolve its pending January 2019.
That's understandable and the answer is yes.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, anyone from the committee have any questions?
Well, I don't have a question, but I've been around here daily since they reopened because my office is just around the block. And I keep observing it because I know at one point I had reservation about the reopening. However, since they were part of the problem there were also 3 other bars, 3 or 4 other bars in on the same Avenue B, 4th Street corner that helped to contribute to the misery that the people were experiencing in the neighborhood from day one that it was open. However, I have not to myself seen any problem in 18 or 19, and I haven't seen any problems in 21. I guess it's because of 20 and 21 because of the pandemic. So I wouldn't say that they would not create a process in which they would become persona non grata in the future, but at the present time, I think I haven't seen anything that they have been operating strictly as a restaurant over that period of time with no heavy music and stuff like that. But, you know, everything starts off quietly until something else happened, but I have no reservation. I have reservation on the extending for at least, I'd figure out for now 1 less hour.
Okay, thanks, Herman. And I should have mentioned that the reason why part of the reason why the community members who wrote us the letter were opposed to the extension of the hours is because typically we just sort of, at least at CB3, I know Mitchell, you said 6 months, but at CB3, we kind of like a year of normal operations to see how folks are operating until they come for an upgrade. But because of COVID, really, I think it's only been 9 months of regular operations. So just to put that out there. Anyone else from the committee have any questions?
What if I have the premises get a vaccine?
Well, I don't think it's about that. I think it's I think it's more that we haven't had the chance to necessarily see how some businesses that opened in late or mid 2019 have operated, you know, with regular table indoor, you know, capacities in for a full year. But I appreciate the offer, and everyone, you know, if you want to get vaccinated, you should get vaccinated. So, anyone else from the committee have any questions? David, I feel like I see you going to unmute button.
Is there anyone beside the legal representative here tonight that represents the establishment?
Yes, there is. Lamia Funti, who is the principal of the establishment. She's in, I believe, the top corner if everyone has the same screen as I.
Could she give us just an idea, since she's the would be the person in charge, so to speak?
Sure. Well, what would you like her to expound on?
Just give us an idea of what she wishes to do at the space.
Lamia?
You're on mute.
Okay.
Lamia, you on
Go ahead,
mute?
Lamia.
Yeah, I was. I think now can you guys hear me?
You're good. We can hear you.
Well, first, thank you for your time. So yeah, basically the plan is to keep it as it is. I have no evil plans. I'm a chef, so my focus is 100% food, and seafood is my specialty. So I intend to keep it that way. We have wine and beer right now, and it's been a challenge to operate that way. We've been trying to be very creative with it, and we hire special people to make special cocktail lists, but definitely we would like to have as much income as possible to survive this time and in the future. So having a full liquor license will definitely help with that. We lose a lot of reservations with not having a liquor license, like a full liquor license. So that definitely affects us as much as, you know, we've been trying to work around it with just wine and beer, but that will definitely help us and, you know, increase our sales. But regarding hours and all of that, I'm not a young kid. I'm 100% focused in the restaurant. It's a big investment for me just to throw everything out of the garbage, you know, or start messing around with it. And again, I'm a chef. My focus is 100% the food, and that's my passion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I'm good. Anyone else from the committee want to say anything?
Okay.
Okay. I did not see anyone sign up in the chat, but if anyone wants to speak on this application, please raise your Zoom hand. Our friend Clint, Clint, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to, Lamia, we're very familiar with you and we met with you many, many times. I can support what everyone else has said in that generally, since you've been open, you haven't been a problem. You were open for about 9 months before the pandemic. There were actually a few complaints, and I think you might have had some special events one or two nights where they said people were there till 3 or 4 in the morning. Again, I don't think they called 311. They emailed us, and that's where it goes. But it didn't seem to be a major problem. So we talked to everyone in the Block Association, and everyone had the same general feelings that you haven't been a major problem. There's been a couple of small incidents, and then during the pandemic, you've been fine, except for you have had outside music. You have outside speakers, which technically isn't permitted, but everyone's trying to give you a little bit of a break. So that is why we kind of came to a general consensus that we could support a full liquor license, but because we haven't really seen you open for a full year, a full cycle of how you would be operating, and given our concerns from the beginning about you becoming a club, we're not quite comfortable with approving the extension of hours at this time. We're not saying we would never be comfortable with that. We just want you to prove yourself to us. And then after that, we would be happy to reconsider. The only other question we have is, based on the pictures in your application and people that have been to your location in the real world, your downstairs seems to be configured a little bit differently, which is also a little bit our concern. It does appear that it almost could be more of an open club than the way it is on your floor plans currently. So those were, just again, tied in a little bit to our concern. We don't think you're trying to do anything suspicious right now, but those were really our only concerns. So we were supporting the full upgrade to liquor. We weren't quite ready for an extension of your hours.
Hey, Clint, sorry, I want to jump in. Clint, were you guys saying, were they looking for 1 more hour? So you guys are okay with till 12 a.m.?
Well, their approved hours are already till 12 a.m. That's what they're approved for. So that's been fine. We were just opposed, even though it seems like a very small amount at this point, We're just a little uneasy and we still aren't quite, you know, she started off well. We just want to make sure she stays that way.
Okay.
I speak, is that possible?
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I don't know how to put the little hand, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Lamia, it's fine, go ahead.
So regarding the extra hours, first of all, regarding the configuration downstairs, no, we have not changed it. And it's long tables for when there is larger groups of 8. That's all it is downstairs, and it's beautiful, and we decorated it. Again, I want to emphasize that for me, this is a big investment as my first restaurant on my own. So I will not jeopardize it for anything. Second, the reason why we're asking for the extra hours on the weekends, not to get the extra late crowd, is just to keep and to take care of the guests that are already enjoying themselves inside. Right now, we have to kick them out basically because we have the 12 o'clock. So we just want to give them extra service and to be able to enjoy dessert and leave happy, not to get the extra late crowd.
So here's the other quick comment about your weekend hours. If the committee decides to approve this, some things that we heard from the community members, and I'm not sure if this is what you intended, but you're asking for an extra hour on Saturday and Sunday. They were very uncomfortable if it was to be approved for an extra hour on Sunday. Did you intend for that to be Friday and Saturday?
Yes, sorry, I didn't even realize that. Yes, so Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you for
Also-
pointing that out. And also, oh, I was gonna say something else, I forgot.
Okay, well, we can come back to you, but thank you, Clint, very much. Thanks for making those points, very important.
Well, my
and just for
apologies.
clarifying the dates.
I'm so
Go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
Remember. Yeah, so we were open for 9 months, but we also, when we were allowed to reopen during COVID, we did reopen and with no incidents. So it's not only 9 months. That's it.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Susan, I see your hand is up. Do you want to say something before?
Yeah, well, first of
ahead.
all, as far as the hours, starting the 19th, the executive order extends everything till 12. So I suspect for quite a few months, the hours aren't going to be an issue one way or another because it's going to be according to executive order. So we're not talking about for now, we're talking about long term. But I was kind of dismayed to hear Clint talk about the outside music because it is so bad in that area. Probably people can't hear them because of their neighbors on the corner. But to be fair, we are working with the city agencies intensely to try and stop the outdoor music from those 2 blocks because it is impacting the neighbors so much. And it is illegal to have amplified music on the sidewalk. And I would ask that the committee consider including in the stipulation that they abide by New York City regulations to not have amplified music outside unless they have a sound permit.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Susan. Okay, the next person whose hand I see up is Bill Magnuson.
Hi, let me put my hand down. So I live right around the corner, and I just wanted to speak in support of both the expansion to the liquor license as well as the expansion of hours. If people have been to this specific corner recently, restaurants and businesses have been just closing down and not reopening. Right across the street from Lamia's Fish Market, in fact, where the former Lovecraft bar was, has been vacant since prior to the pandemic. It is now just covered in graffiti and has fallen into disuse. The pizza place that used to be right around the corner from there has been closed for over 2 years. It's now been a place where homeless people are sleeping at night and peeing and smells terrible. The Nobody is Perfect restaurant location that was right across the street from there has been closed since prior to the pandemic even hit. None of these places are reopening. The laundromat on the same corner, there's more closed around here than there is even open. And so when I look at a place that has a great track record of operating, you know, whether the pandemic was part of that time period or not, we have a great operator with a great track record who's trying to survive in a really difficult time. And I think we should give them every chance they have. So I'm supportive of both dimensions of it. I would also speak to living here on the block with respect to the music, actually Lamia's has been closed for most of this time period during the pandemic. And there's been a lot of amplified music coming out of Poco on 3rd and B, as well as the Empanada place, also kind of closer to 3rd and B, where they've had like outdoor karaoke and such. So to the extent that there's been complaints about amplified music on the block, I personally have not witnessed anything from Lamia. The real offenders are 150 feet away and like are overpowering the sound in the area. And I think we should actually be supportive of them as a model citizen on this block that is open and keeping things going. So.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Bill.
Cheers.
Susan.
I just want to say, as far as the sound, you're absolutely right, but we have to treat everybody equally. And we are trying to get the city to follow existing regulations. And I will also say that there are plenty of businesses on those blocks that are doing extremely well. The ones that are closed, it's not because of COVID, it was pre-COVID business issues. So, take them at their value of, people are supporting them, but I would suggest that some of those other issues are not valid issues.
Okay, Susan, can you just repeat what you said about the stipulation? It will not play any music.
That they will follow city regulations to not have amplified sound outside unless they have a sound permit. And it's just following existing regulations that everybody should follow.
Yep. Okay, thank you. All right, I see one more hand. Joseph?
Hi.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Thank you, Susan. I'm glad to hear that you're taking on the amplified sound. It's a problem throughout the neighborhood. With this application, I don't personally have any issue with them extending beyond wine and beer. My concern is the workaround staying open later, and that then it becomes, is it a restaurant turning into a bar? Then we're adding to the same issue with bars and nightlife in the neighborhood. So if it's a restaurant, I am curious to know, when do they stop serving? Is this a workaround to be a bar from 10 to 1 or something like that? So again, my issues are with the hours less than them having a full liquor license.
If I may.
Sure, go ahead, Mitchell.
On 2 points, I thank you so much. First, they're only asking for an extra hour on 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, which are pretty much weekend nights. 1 o'clock is far from bar time, limits, so to speak. And as the principal stated, just really to wind down the dinner hours as opposed to not kicking them out. As far as Susan's statement on the sound, that's fine, but I don't know if she's delineating exactly what those requirements are. So applicant will definitely agree to abide by those requirements, whatever they are. I'm not sure that they were detailed properly. And offhand, I don't know myself. So
yeah, I think we don't want to detail them in case they change. So we'll give you that flexibility. That's why I say follow city regulations. Sure. And Joseph, just also another thing is that part of the regulations is that they will have to serve food during all hours of operation.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard one here in CB3. So, okay. Anyone else from the community? I don't see any other hands. Thank you all, everyone who spoke. I want to do a straw poll of the committee now, both on, I guess first, do you want to approve the upgrade? And then second, are you supportive of the additional hour on Friday and Saturday? David Crane, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I do support it. I live around the corner. The place is gorgeous. It's been on my list to take relatives when they come to visit, but then no one came to visit last year, so I haven't actually been in.
Okay,
but
so you're supportive of both?
Yes.
Okay. Jesse, what are your feelings?
Yes on the upgrade, and I can be yes on the extension, given David's comment.
Okay. Herman?
Yes on both.
Okay. Paul?
Yes, on both.
Okay, and I'm fine with both. Okay, all right. Let me share the resolution that I drafted here. Okay. As I mentioned, I included some information about the past history at this location, about the closing hours and how the liquor license was previously revoked. I included a paragraph here about the folks who spoke in support and in opposition, and in like not opposition, but opposition to the extension of the hours. I included this clause about the resolving its pending class 1 violation, which Mitchell said that they are working on, and the standard stipulations, which I'll read out loud to make sure that the applicant agrees to them. And then this one that Susan helped with about the amplified sound outside. Anyone from the committee have any changes or thoughts?
Can I just say one thing? I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
If you go back to number 2.
Yep.
Just
Oh,
give
yes.
me-
Okay. Thank you.
Yep,
Monday and
yep,
Thursday.
Yep.
Thank you. I changed it up there, but not down here.
Thank you.
Sunday to Thursday.
Sunday to Thursday.
Yes. Sunday to Thursday.
Up here, Sunday to Thursday. Okay. Any committee members have anything to add or change? Jesse, you're good. David? You're good. Herman, anything?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Paul?
Good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna read these aloud before we vote on it. Let me actually pull up the formal stipulations to read to you. So share. Well, apparently my Adobe will not open, which is where our stipulations are saved. That's a problem. Bear with, oh, Clint, go ahead. You're on mute, Clint.
Okay, thanks. I know you're in the middle of the resolution. I just wanted to ask for, and this isn't a problem, but just clarification. The plans for the cellar floor only show a bar underneath the skylight. Is that correct, Lamia, or do you have, because the picture appears to show a long bar along the wall as well. You're on
Go
mute,
ahead.
Lamia.
You can unmute yourself. You can speak.
Yeah.
Lamia, go ahead.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
No, I was muted.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's a small, so basically the downstairs, I understand why you say it looks like a club because it's big tables that can be moved.
Yeah.
No, actually those are like the chef's table because the kitchen is right downstairs.
Yeah.
So it's like right accessible for the chef. We do a lot of food tastings with people from the business and for neighbors. Another thing, whether it's relevant or not, 70% of our customers are neighbors, direct neighbors, and we do have a lot of return customers, which we're very happy about.
And that's fine. I guess my question is, do you have the bar under the skylight, which is the rectangle one? Do you have another bar that runs along the, like, is there another bar that's along the wall?
That's the kitchen. No, that's the kitchen. The kitchen has a serving bar.
Okay. So that's a serving bar,
The
not
bar. It's
okay.
Yeah, of course not. That's the chef needs to expedite.
Let's call it a serving counter. It's not a bar. Is that correct?
But it just doesn't appear that that's illustrated on your floor plans. If you want to scroll down, just, I don't know if it matters, but I just want to be clear in the diagram.
I don't,
I just don't want
Do you want
you
me
to end up getting in
Clint, do you
trouble
want me to?
if the SLA comes in and says your floor plans don't match what you have in the real world.
understood. Where are you looking though? Because on the
Are
screen,
you talking about the upstairs or the
No,
downstairs?
the downstairs,
Oh,
the cellar level.
the row bar.
Is that a raw? So the pictures show a long bar, but it doesn't show any food in it. So I just wasn't sure if that's
There
an
is no
actual
long
bar.
bar downstairs. So when you have a kitchen in a restaurant, you do need an expediting.
Yeah, but there's
area.
tables across from it. So the picture you have in your application seems to show a bar on one side, which doesn't necessarily have stools, but a bar, and then tables along the wall opposite that.
What page are you looking at, Clint? In the questionnaire?
Hold on, let me go back to.
Is it 21?
Oops, sorry, I closed the, let me
You're
reopen
fine.
it. I closed it when I was back on my other screen. So if you go to
Trust me, it's been happening to me
page,
all night.
yeah, it's page 11, actually. So it doesn't appear, it looks like you have, on the cellar level, there's the table in the back, and then it shows everything like after about a third of it looks to be kind of back of the house stuff. But if you scroll down in the photos and you go to page 19 in the photos, that doesn't seem to appear what looks like your diagram shows of your downstairs.
This is not the downstairs. This is
that's up front. That's the raw
Yeah,
bar.
that's the front. That's a row bar.
No,
That's,
there's no skylight over your front though. That's your
yeah,
downstairs
there
level.
is. I mean, I'd welcome you to come. There is definitely a
Wait,
skylight.
But that can't be there's no skylight in your front. This section showing the bar with one level and an entire skylight above it on page 19, that is not the front of your building.
It's more likely there's a skylight on the first floor than in the cellar.
Bill, please, excuse me, please.
Sorry.
But the skylight, because that's the back, correct?
The back of the back, excuse that is the roof, so to speak, of the front floor, the ground
No,
floor.
that's the back. That's the roof of the cellar. That white bar with the store.
No, it's not.
We have two skylights.
But isn't the skylight open until the cellar?
One skylight. This one, no. This one is the top floor.
Okay.
So this skylight is the top floor on top of the row bar. The second skylight that you're talking about that overlooks the downstairs, it's not this one.
Is it this one?
Correct, yeah. That's where we have the chef's table.
Yeah.
What you were talking about, the bar, it's not a bar. We don't serve alcohol there. It's a row bar. It's an oyster bar.
Okay, so that clarifies that, but it just doesn't seem like your lower level diagrams match up with even these other pictures. Now you clarified that's the other floor. It doesn't seem like they match up, but that's going to be your issue if the SLA ever comes to inspect and it's not right. So I wasn't bringing that up that we have necessarily an issue with it. It just doesn't appear that diagram of your cellar matches up with the pictures you've shown.
Oh.
But I don't want to hold you guys up any longer, so you can move forward with that. I was just hoping for clarification, but.
Okay, all right. Thank you all. I will stop sharing this now. Okay, my Adobe is now working, so let me just share this so we can go through it all together. Well, okay. So this is an upgrade for a liquor, wine, beer, and cider license for a full service restaurant that will serve seafood and fish with a kitchen open and serving food during all hours of operation. Your hours of operation will be 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday to Thursday and 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Friday to Saturday. You'll have a closed fixed facade with no open doors or windows. The second one, no DJs, no live music, no promoted events, no event at which a cover fee is charged, and no scheduled performances. You will only play ambient recorded background music. You will not apply for an alteration without coming back first, or physical alteration. You will not seek a change in class without getting approval, which you already did. I will not participate in pub crawls. You will not have unlimited drink specials. You will have a happy hour. If you have a happy hour, it will end by 7:30. You will not have wait lines. You'll post the stipulation form, and everyone may contact you at the number below. Does that all sound right, Mitchell?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
How
Okay.
do you want that executed tonight, or how do you?
Oh, well, we're gonna move into a vote and then I'll let
Okay.
you know.
Thank you.
Sure. My Adobe is not cooperating tonight. Okay, moving this to a vote. Jesse Beck,
Yes.
Herman Hewitt,
Yes.
David Crane,
Yes.
Paul Saros. Did we lose Paul? Paul,
Yeah, I said yes.
you can give a thumb. Okay, thank you. Michelle Cooper-Smith, yes. Okay, so thank you all for coming. The office will send you the stipulations form tomorrow. If you could sign and notarize them and return as soon as possible, that will be very much appreciated. Thank you all for your time. Thank you everyone from the community for coming out tonight and helping us. make a
Thank you.
decision.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you all.
Thank you
Of course.
so much, guys. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Okay.
If I may, my name is Gene Anton. We're actually number 3, Mictlan, Mexico, or 17 Orchard Street.
Yeah.
My client's on as
Yeah,
well.
I apologize. We're going a little bit out of order tonight just because of we're responding to who's on from the community and other issues. but-
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware that we're here. That's all.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, we're gonna go next to number 6, 219 Second Avenue. Are the applicants here for that?
Yep.
Yes.
We're here. Hello.
Yep. Hi, Nadia
Okay.
Shahjahan, representing KNL Hospitality LLC, doing business as Little Rebel. And the principals are both here, Dermot Lynch and Jared Kruko.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to drop the application into the chat so everyone can follow along if they'd like. Okay. This is an application for a new full on-premises liquor license at 219 Second Avenue, formerly known as Professor Tom's. The hours that the applicants are asking for are Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., Friday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. We pulled the old stipulations from Professor Tom's. There's no change on those hours. These applicants, I believe, have never held a license, but they have worked for many years at licensed businesses. As I mentioned, this was previously licensed location, and there are 12 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. Anything else that I missed?
No, that's about it.
Okay, cool. Great. Anyone from the committee? I think, Paul, you have something you'd like to mention?
To me?
Yeah, you.
Well, Dermot has worked with me for a while, so I vouch for him 100%. And I agree with everything that they're doing. They did a good job there, so I believe in them. I've worked with Dermot for a long time, so that's all I gotta say.
Okay, thanks. And just everyone knows we're doing that in for transparency, but Paul, you do not have a financial stake in this business, correct?
I'm fucking broke.
Sounds good. Okay. Anyone else from the committee have any questions or comments?
As usual, I'd like to hear from the participants, how they, what's their business, how it will be run, how they will conform to the rules and regulations that is set out by this community board and what we expect from them.
Okay, and I'll just add to what Herman said, is that we know that this location has had issues in the past with quality of life issues, especially around bar crawls and SantaCon. So if you'd like to address what you're doing around noise, et cetera, please do.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I would just like to categorically say that we do not want to be part of any bar crawl, SantaCon, anything like that. We feel it will more so damage our business long term. With regards to any previous complaints from neighbors, we have had conversations with all directly above us who have signed the sheet in support of us opening a business here. And some of the residents in the neighboring building I've spoke to, and I've just tried to alleviate their concerns about the sound system that it was currently installed here, which comprised of 3 or 4 very large oversized subwoofers or bass bins, which we've since removed, as we're not looking to have that kind of crazy party environment here. We are trying to be a local environment. We will have some TVs and show local sports, but we will not be having any sound on for sports, and we will not be buying any packages. So is there anything you'd like to add there? Sorry.
Yeah, you know, our biggest thing is we want to be a restaurant pub that caters towards East Village residents, our neighbors, employees, people that work down here. We want them to feel relaxed, and this is a good place to, you know, like David said about Lamia, you know, he wants to bring his family there. We want that same type of feel, that they're proud of what we have put together and they feel like it's theirs. We think that's the best business plan, is to have locals be your regulars, and we think that's how we're going to grow and be good.
Okay, great, thanks. Herman, does that satisfy you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, great. And one question that I forgot to ask. Can you clarify, in the application, you said that you have 22 tables and 76 seats, 1 countertop with 4 seats, 1 30-foot bar with 23 seats, and a 10-foot bar with 8 seats. Can you clarify where those are located in the first floor versus the basement?
Yeah, so it's weird because it says a basement and then the first floor. But our main floor, we have a long bar. There'll be 23 bar seats there. And then we have about 10 tables in the back, along with our booths that are here. And then upstairs, we have another bar that'll have 8 seats there. And then it'll be the rest of the tables, the 12 tables.
Okay, so first floor, is that the basement technically?
Yes, that's what it says on.
It is, but it's really.
Got it. Okay, so with a basement with 10 tables and how many seats?
There'll be about, I'd say, 42 seats there.
Okay, seats, 1 30-foot bar with 23 seats?
Yep.
And the first floor with 12 tables and
That'll be
the math.
That'll be
34.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. And a 10-foot bar with 8 seats.
Yep, correct.
And then where is the countertop with 4 seats?
That's the front window when you walk right in the front door here. That's on the.
It's on the front end.
So it's a basement.
Yep, basement.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Okay. David Crane, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask just for my education. You mentioned that you weren't going to be buying any packages. It sounded like that was in the context of sporting events. Could you just explain what a package means?
I guess from speaking to the neighbors, the few that I've spoken to, or as many as I could, sports packages would make people think we're a sports bar, which would incur kind of large groups and maybe more of a boisterous environment. So I guess that was kind of something I was.
Oh, sorry, we can't hear you.
You can.
I muted myself. What is a sports package? I don't understand what that means.
David, it's like a premium sports package that you get like all of the games at every. Yeah, like you get because like usually David didn't have a television until recently.
I don't do television. Yeah. Okay, I understand.
So it's like that you get every football game even if you're not in the local market. So instead of getting just the Jets and the Giants, you get like every NFL team.
It makes sense. I understand. And that's good not to do it.
Not going to be a sports bar.
Okay. So I'm gonna say 6 televisions showing local sports.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
With sound, though, they are with sound. They're not just background. Like you will actually play games and there'll be games.
We'll play games, but no sound, the actual sporting event. We'll only have ambient background music from an iPod playing. Is the only
Great. Thank you.
Gotta read the subtitles to know what's going on, Jesse. Okay. Okay, I think everyone's from the committee has spoken. Anything else before I go to the community? And I should say, sorry, I'm remiss, that I will qualify the statement that the applicants made that they have at least 3 signatories from the building and 31 signatories from addresses within a 2-block radius of their location in support of the application. So although we do not support doing petitioning because we want to be safe, but thank you for sending that in. Anyone from the community here to speak, please raise your Zoom hand if you don't mind. You know, I think at least one person was here. Hold on. I know at least one, I think one of our community board members wanted to speak, but I don't.
I think you were thinking of Megan, maybe?
Yeah, I think I see her husband and potentially her under someone else on, but they're not raising their hands. So, okay, she doesn't want to speak, but I think that they were in support of this application. Okay, anyone else from the community? I don't see anyone raising their hands. Oh wait, Megan, go ahead. Megan. 3, 2, 1. Okay, if Megan comes back, we'll give her a chance to speak, but committee, how are we feeling about this?
Good.
Herman? You just muted yourself, Herman.
Just one thing, you're strictly a bar, right?
I guess we have got a full service restaurant, so we are a restaurant bar.
Because I was looking at the 4 a.m. weekend closing. I was figuring if you were anywhere near close to be a restaurant while 4 a.m.
So it's really.
Yeah, thank you
guys
for bringing
can
that
go
up,
ahead.
actually, Herman, because I saw that we typically, and Susan, if you want to weigh in here, we typically ask for food service during all hours of operation, which I think on the application you had said only until 1 a.m. Thursday to Saturday. Is that something that you might be able to serve some food?
We can serve food the entire time. We have no problem. We got a huge kitchen,
Okay.
small bites. We want to serve food the entire time. That's no problem with that.
That would be that would be good.
So you have a full kitchen.
Yes, sir. We have a full. We'll probably have about 8 appetizers, 4 salads, and 4 entrees.
The only thing I want to, in terms of number 7 and the stuff, I'm not sure if it's something that has to do with the you think that would be agreed on? I know I will close my front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. every night, or when amplified. Yeah. Somehow I'm always thinking that should be that first portion, that the windows will be closed at 10 p.m. every night.
Yeah.
And then something else should be there that separately talk about amplified music when the person are saying they're going to have background music. So I'm not, it's just something I'm thinking about. I don't need anything changed right now or anything like that.
Okay. I mean, we have Herman that they'll close the doors and they'll only play ambient background music, which I suggested that you get tattooed so we can all remember it, but
Yeah, okay.
ambient background music only.
Yeah, something.
I'm gonna make you a sign for your apartment.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And then wait lines, will you commit to ensure that there are no wait lines outside?
That's
Will you
the,
designate?
that's the big reason we're gonna have a bouncer, is just to keep that sidewalk clear and clean. There's gonna be no wait lines ever. They'll be asked to move on.
Okay, okay. Okay. I'm gonna just let me change that quickly. Okay, let me share my screen, committee, so you can see the resolution that I worked on. Why? Can you see just the resolution?
Yeah, we can see it. I mean, we see the stuff behind it, but we can see that.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. All right. Well, you can see the saucy stuff of the top hits from the applications.
Can you bump up the font of 1 or 2 sizes?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so we changed this to 6 televisions showing local sports without sound, serving food during all hours of operation, all days. No wait lines, and an employee to oversee patrons. Okay. Seems I did not fill out the stipulations form. Any changes, anybody from the committee?
Good.
Yeah, I was talking about number 3. Since they're not going to have amplified music or DJs, I think it should be reversed, that they would close at 10 o'clock every night. We are not approving amplified sound or is playing, so that why do we have that?
Susan, do you want to weigh in on that?
Yep.
Susan?
I can't give you a good answer, except that sometimes they will use amplified sound for games, certain kind of games or something, if they're never going to use it. You don't need it, but
that's just the typical one that we have in the
amplified sound for things other than music.
I don't know if it's true, but theoretically they could be penalized twice. I mean, I understand stipulations are hard to work that way, but
I don't understand.
Well, if they had amplified sound, they would be not having ambient music, and if they left the facade open, that would be another problem.
So what I'm saying is that sometimes people use amplified sound that have nothing to do with music, such as, if they're playing games or, which people do. They play trivia and various other things and use a mic.
Right, and when that happens, and I'm familiar with it, they should have the facade closed.
Yes, exactly.
Right, so that's the point of the stipulation.
That's the reason for leaving that in there.
Okay. Herman, are you good then?
I was just concerned that since the application itself saying that they're only going to have background music, they weren't stating that they were going to have any other kind of sound operation other than background music, and that's why I was concerned about it.
Well,
if I could interject here,
Go ahead.
if this is a new business, so there may be a trivia night which might require a mic to be amplified, and I don't want to kind of cut back on possible potential reasons, of course, the applicants will do anything possible. They don't want to be a nuisance. They're creating relationships with the neighbors. They want to be a part of the neighborhood, and as such, offer things like game night, and hopefully at a point when we can all gather safely again. So I think it's good to not restrict, because I think the stipulation is good for things like that.
Thank you. Anyone else from the committee? Paul, you said you're good. Jesse, you're good. David?
Well, I'm still saying 4 says that there won't be any DJs promoted music or scheduled
Right.
performances, right?
Yeah, right. But they're saying that they might have like a microphone for trivia. So that would be caught up in here, or when amplified sound. So say that they're doing the trivia at 8 p.m. This will require them to close the facade at 8 p.m. if they have like a trivia night.
Yeah, but
sorry to interject.
we're not approving any trivia or anything. We're only approving non-amplified sound.
We're not excluding it either, though, Herman.
Yeah.
Right?
Can
I
I
don't think there's
say-
anything to be cleaned up here.
Well, then,
Susan,
then make it worded that way. If you're not going to exclude it, then just stuff like that.
So can I say, trivia and games like that have never, ever been a problem in any venue unless unless windows and doors were open. This is standard for every stipulation I think that we have. And, to be honest, I don't know why if you're going to say they can't do anything unless it's permitted, you'd have to go through every possibility of what they could possibly do, like trivia games, bingo, drag queen bingo, whatever. None of those things have ever proved to be a problem. We just want to make sure the mic stays inside. And like I say, this is on every
That's
stipulation.
just fine. I need to get it out there just in case it comes back to us on that one rare occasion.
No one has ever complained about a trivia game.
except for if the doors were open, which happened, I think, at one of our applicant on Avenue B. Okay, so Herman, are you okay though with the way it's worded, but you're just putting it in for the record?
Yeah, but the way it's stated to me is if I've never gone to the Himalayas mountain, then maybe one day I will. So everything is left up to question. But let's move on with this.
Okay.
I'm coming with you to Everest. Don't worry, Herman. We'll go together.
Yeah, we're gonna go a group trip.
Okay.
Just when COVID ends.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me read the stipulations out to our friends. Because I didn't fill this out ahead of time, apparently. Dermot Lynch, should I put both of your names or?
Yeah. It would be,
What's the
would
other
it be
name?
KL,
Sorry.
would it be KNL Hospitality? Would it be the entity name or?
We usually say as a qualified representative of KNL Hospitality.
Yeah. Probably both.
What's the second name? Sorry, I just don't.
Jarek Kruko. Can type it to you.
Okay, I've got it. Jarek Kruko. As a qualified representative, KNL Hospitality LLC, located at 219 2nd Avenue. License type is, and I just unshared this because I realized I was sharing my whole screen. License type is full liquor, wine, beer, and cider. You'll operate a full service restaurant, a gastro pub restaurant, serving with a kitchen open and serving food during all hours of operation. Hours of operation are 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Monday to Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Thursday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. Friday and Saturday, and 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday. You will employ a doorman security personnel. Will you install soundproofing, or is there already soundproofing installed?
There is some, but to mitigate the soundproofing, we've kind of reduced the sound system.
Right, okay. Right. Okay, you will close any front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. every night or when amplified sound is playing, including from a mic. You will not have DJs, live music, promoted events, any event in which a cover fee is charged or scheduled performances. You will only play ambient recorded background music. You will not apply for any alterations without coming to us first. You will not seek a change in class without coming to us first. You will not participate in pub crawls. You will not have unlimited drink specials. If you have a happy hour, it will end by 7. No wait lines. You will have a staff person responsible for ensuring that there's no loitering outside. You will conspicuously post the stipulation form outside your business, and residents may contact you at, what's the best number? If residents want to contact you all. What's the best phone number if residents would like to contact you?
It's either or. If you want me to, do you have them there in front of you? Or do you need me to enter them in the chat or read them out?
I have the one I have is, I have, sorry.
I think I might have put both in the application.
Oh, okay.
Well, both are there, and either is perfect.
All right, I'll put both. I can copy and paste this. Okay. All right. Does that all sound accurate?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. Now the committee will move to a vote. Okay. Michelle Cooper Smith, yes. Paul Ciros.
Yes.
Herman Hewitt.
Yes.
Jesse Beck.
Yes.
David Crane.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so thank you all for coming this evening. The office will send you the stipulations form tomorrow morning. Please return it signed and notarized expediently. It will make everyone's life a lot easier. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks guys. I need to take a bathroom break. I will be right back. Okay. Thank you for everyone's patience. All right, now we'll go back to the right order. Number 3, Mictlan, Mexico. I believe you guys are both here. All of you guys are here.
Yes. Hi. Good evening. Yes.
Okay,
And
hi.
Mr. Talon Perez is also, I'm sorry. Hello?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Natalan Perez, the principal, he's also on, he's under iPhone.
Okay, I see. Thank you for your patience. I understand we went a little bit out of order this evening. That occasionally happens. Okay, this is an application for a new full on-premises liquor license at 17 Orchard Street. This location was previously the Fat Radish since July 2010. The proposed hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. This applicant is also licensed in Brooklyn at Ave Restaurant Corp, DBA Hob. As I mentioned, this was already previously licensed space. I believe, I'm not sure what the past hours of Fat Radish were. They were approved a long time ago. And there are 11 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet of this applicant. Anything I missed or is incorrect?
I'd just like to clarify, the hours of operation are daily 12 a.m. to 12
Oh, sorry.
12 p.m. to 12 a.m.
So Monday
Daily.
to Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. Anyone from the committee have any questions for them? No. Herman?
I know it's late. Maybe that's a positive.
You'll be
Actually, Michelle, did you share their application?
Oh, sorry. No.
Thanks. So convenient to find them right here.
Yes. I'm spoiling you. It's a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, Mr. Perez has been operating restaurants pretty much all his life, and he currently has one in Park Slope called Hob. It's on 6th Avenue.
Herman, David, Paul, Jesse, any questions?
My usual method of operation. Give me an idea of how he's going to run his business.
It's just a full restaurant. The chef is going to be present all hours of operation. It's going to be open from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. daily. It already has soundproofing in there. They're going to reinforce it, make sure it's properly during the renovations, that it's stays in place, and reinforce it and make sure it doesn't get, part of the renovations gets removed or anything like that. They're going to have a sound limiter, a couple of TVs. It's not going to be a bar atmosphere. It's just going to be a straightforward restaurant, Mexican restaurant with takeout. We're not aware of any prior incidents at this location. It was called the Fat Radish. Mr. Perez knows the owner of the building. That's how he came to know the vacancy. Mr. Perez operates another store in Manhattan, not a restaurant, which the landlord owns.
Thank you. Anyone else from the committee have any questions?
Does Mr. Perez know the Lower East Side, or he's just been in Brooklyn?
Mr. Perez, you can answer that.
Yes, hi everyone. Well, I know a little bit about Lower East Side, but I've been in Brooklyn and I've been in Midtown Manhattan, and I, pretty much I like to respect everyone, and I like to work with the communities, and I just try to do the right thing.
And I hope the best, but you haven't been to the Lower East Side, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's my question, that's all.
Thank you.
Paul, I think that was a leading question about that. The Lower East Side just happens to be a little different, as you probably heard from your time here this evening.
I'm very well aware of the Lower East Side. I grew up in the city.
Are you running the restaurant?
Excuse me?
Are you running the restaurant? You're not.
I am not. I am not. But I think I'll be a good advisor for sure to make sure that he operates the way any reputable restaurateur in the city should operate. That means respecting its neighbors and its citizens.
How long is the L-shaped bar? That's in the front of the restaurant, right? Or how many feet?
It's gonna have 12 seats, so it's not too long. It's separated by a wall. There's like it's kind of like
I'm familiar with it. Yeah, I just generally we put in like the actual length of the bar, the number of feet.
Mr. President, how far, what's the length of the bar?
The length of the bar is about 15 feet.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anyone else from the committee have any questions? Okay, is there anyone here from the community who would like to speak on this? I didn't see anyone sign up in the chat. If there's anyone, please raise your Zoom hand.
I don't,
No.
me, I don't have a problem. The hours are good. You know, he's right across the street from me, so I'll be watching all the time.
Yeah, I similarly, I would just say that for this block specifically, I know you said that you weren't aware of any previous incidents, but you can watch the YouTube video of the hearing we had in January and then subsequently February about the applicants for across the street from you. There are residents who are very concerned about new operators on that block. So I would, you could take that with take that to heart that there are certainly folks there that have been burned by operators on that block. So I think I don't have a problem also because of the hours. We'll just really ask you to make sure that this is like really run like a restaurant. This is not a, not a bar. I think that the hours make that pretty clear. And you have a really extensive menu and you'll be serving that food during all hours of operation. So, but just, just for your awareness on that specific block, it's one that has become heavily licensed in the past, 10 to 15 years. So.
Right.
Okay. It was Carlota was the applicant. If you'd like to see the folks across.
What is it called?
Carlota. I think it was like 19A Orchard, something like that.
Okay. Are they still? I'm gonna take a look at the lamp report. I don't remember seeing them on the report. Carlota. Are they still
Carlota.
there?
No, they're opening, but the same operators as next door, which is Bar Belly, which I believe had a connection to Fat Radish as well. So that's why I'm just saying, be aware that I think folks in that little corner have been burned before. So
yeah, and I noticed that the the nearest places are actually taverns. They're not even restaurants, right?
Well, I think that's part of the problem. Yes, yeah. And I think that's part of the problem. So.
Well,
just for your awareness, not Paul's Place. Paul's Place is food all the time.
Not taverns. If you drive down and if you spend some time on the block, you'll know instead of clicking the computers. Very simple.
Yeah, I would recommend going there at night to see what it can be like, especially as the weather gets nicer. Just so that you understand the situation around there. And Canal Street is closed for the moment as well. So.
Right. Well, Mr. Perez is there daily during the renovations, so he's Mr. Perez. Keep an eye on, make sure you're, keep an eye on that, and definitely don't do what they're doing. Like I said, he has a very good history. He doesn't have any adverse history with the State Liquor Authority. He's had an OP license over at the Park Slope location for several years. He has very good ratings, very good, comments. And like I said, I think even in his Park Slope restaurant, Mr. Perez, I think you mentioned that you close at 10 p.m. over there?
Yeah, because we are a restaurant, we're not like a bar. We just like, full service restaurant, and that's where we are. We don't stay late at night,
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I just was saying that not to scare you, just to give you some context for the neighborhood. Okay, committee, any other questions, or we can move into the making of the resolution. It's getting late, so. Okay. All right, so as you can see, I shared my screen with the resolution that I drafted. I included in here that there are 11 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet, that this location was previously licensed at the Fat Radish. We didn't have any input from community members about this location. So I'm going to remove this.
Also, we can just go back to the dimensions of the bar. It says 15 inches. I think it's
15 feet. Oh, yeah. 15 feet. I'm just going to right foot. Thank you for catching that. But everything else looks accurate. 71 people, 15 tables.
Yes.
Okay.
Just for sake, if I'm wrong, it would be 38 seats with a.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for catching that. And our pretty standard stipulations, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. all days. No DJs, no promote events. If they're having a happy hour, we'll have to end by 7. No party buses, no unlimited drink specials. Anyone from the committee have anything they want to add? No. Okay. All right, let me just run through the stipulations then for the applicants, so we can make sure that everything is kosher. Okay. Madeline Perez as a qualified representative, Orchard 17 Restaurant Corp, located 17 Orchard Street. You're applying for a full liquor license. Will operate a full service Mexican restaurant. You'll serve food during all hours of operation, which will be Monday to Sunday, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. So just so you know, if you choose to click this, I will not use outdoor space. That means that you can't use open restaurants either. We just typically have not been checking that. I know that you did on your stipulations.
Because because we're basing it off post-COVID operations.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna that's like a thing that you're allowed to do open restaurants unless your stipulations on your liquor license say that you can't use outdoor space. So just as a matter of order, CB3 has not been checking that during COVID.
Okay.
Installation is already installed. You will have a closed fixed facade, so they're never open with no open doors, and anything, your entrance door will close by 10. No DJs, no live music, no promote events, no event with cover fees, no scheduled performances. You'll only play ambient background music. You will not apply for an alteration without coming back to us. You will not participate in pub crawls. No unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. That's very important in CB3. If you have a happy hour, it will end by 7. No wait lines. You're going to designate a staff person for ensuring that there's no loitering outside. Also very important on that block. You will post the stipulation form at your business, and everyone can contact Mr. Perez at the number here if they have any issues. Does that all sound right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, I am going to move us into a vote in that case. Okay. No one's out of order. Okay, Jesse Beck.
Yes.
Herman Hewitt.
Yes.
Paul Ciros.
Yes.
David Crane.
Yes.
Michelle Cooper Smith. Yes. Okay. Thank you both for coming and for bearing with us as we went a little bit out of order this evening. The office will send you the stipulations sheet tomorrow morning. Please sign and return it as expediently as possible.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Yep.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Stay safe.
Okay, our final
Thank you.
applicant, apologies for going totally out of order. You probably thought you were gonna go much earlier this evening. Are the applicants for Elvis's Cafe here, 358 3rd Avenue?
Yes, Ben Cornguts here and Michelle Morgan, principal of the applicant, is on.
Okay, thank you.
Could you share that one too?
Yes, thank you for the reminder. I'm doing well on reading the stipulations tonight, but I'm falling down on sharing the questionnaire, which is a self-imposed thing.
Doing fine.
Thanks. There we go. Okay. So this is an application for a new full on-premises liquor license at 58 3rd Avenue. I believe that's between 13th and 14th Street. Is that right?
No, it's between
10th and 11th.
10th and 11th.
Okay. Put that in my notes. Someone that's coming next week. The proposed hours of operation are Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Friday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. The applicant is not currently a license holder or has not previously been a license holder, but has been the general manager of at least one business and front of house at other businesses, including ones in this district, Beauty and Essex and Stanton Social, and Ulysses in CD1. And I think currently at a CD1 business as well. This location is not fully licensed previously. It was a wine beer license under the boilery. There are 12 full on-premises liquor licenses within 500 feet of this application, according to the SLA lamp map. And it's going to be a healthy Asian restaurant, which opened as a ghost kitchen during the pandemic, and they're moving to a permanent location. Does that all sound accurate, Ben and Michelle?
Yes, that's accurate. Just a couple of quick things to add is that space will be relatively small, eight tables, 42 seats with a one customer bar with 6 seats. You highlighted some of Michelle's experience and she could get into that a little bit, but I would also just like to point out that 2 of the adjacent stores, Blockheads, which is right next to this location, is closed, and then Meat Noodles is closed also. So there are a lot of restaurants on that block that, are having, obviously with COVID, that are having trouble staying in business and have closed. And I also just want to point out that we did try to reach out to residents of the building to get their support, but unfortunately right now there are no residents of the building. Like everyone has moved out. So I just wanted to point that out, that we did attempt to reach out to people in the building. And I think just on the application, we put that it was Asian health food, but I think Michelle just kind of wants to explain exactly what that means and what that means to her.
Yeah, so it's basically, everything on our menu is gluten-free and vegan based, and we add protein to that. It's more of like an Asian fusion more than anything else. And our main focus is healthy eating.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. All right, anyone from the committee have any questions?
Not me. Don't rush to answer, guys.
You're okay with everything, Herman?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else from the committee have any questions or need clarification? No? Okay, anyone from the community here to speak on this item, please put your hand up. Okay. Jesse, I see 2 people. So I'm going to start with Mary Fran.
Hi, my name is Mary Fran Loftus, and for over 25 years, I've lived at 3rd Avenue and 9th Street. I'm opposed to an OP liquor license at this location for the following reasons. We already have a saturation of liquor licenses based on the lamp map calculations today. In a 500-foot radius of the location, there are 23 active, 1 pending, and 8 inactive liquor licenses. All Saints Ukrainian Church and Grace Church School fall within that radius as well. My bedroom and living room windows overlook East 10th Street, which is a quiet residential street. If this OP license is granted, there are potentially other nearby restaurants that would feel that they should have a full liquor license as well. Other than posting a notice on the window of the establishment, I have not seen any community outreach. The East Village Owners Renters Association, whose boundaries are 12th to 8th Streets between 3rd and 4th Avenues, has not been approached by the applicant. The application states that outside area sidewalk cafe will be utilized as open restaurants program. An MTA bus stop restricts the use of the curb directly in front of this location. So will the sidewalk be obstructed? According to sidewalkwidths.nyc, the width of this block is 8.8 feet, making social distancing very difficult. Further obstructions will make it dangerous for pedestrians and impossible to abide by current social distancing recommendations. An OP liquor license would not add anything that is not already available to this neighborhood. I urge you to oppose the application. Thank you.
Thanks. I'll just note for the committee that CB3 does not require outreach to community groups anymore. It's just, yeah.
And
Okay,
sorry if I.
sorry, go ahead, Ben. Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, we did review the list of community groups, and we did send an email to the one which we thought was relevant, which was, it was submitted in the packet. It has the gentleman's email address, but I'm just trying to figure out what, his name is Eric Einstein. See if I could figure out what group that is. And Michelle, you never heard back, right?
No.
Yeah, let me just see what.
It's the International Tailoring Company building, 11th and 12th Street between Broadway and 3rd Avenue.
Right, that's correct.
Okay, all right, thank you. Susan, I see your hand up, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say the Tenants Association that Mary mentioned, Evorma, I think that's generally Tom Jewell, and they will always contact me and the applicant when they're concerned. They worked closely with the board for a good 15 years. So they do know if they're concerned to contact the board.
Okay, thanks.
Could I say something? Because I talked to Tom Jewell today, and he is pulling back from doing any work, but no one ever contacted him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The reason we put the applicant information on the website is so that the applicant can contact the neighbors, or the neighbors can contact the applicant, which Tom has done many times in the past. It's if you want to speak to the applicant, that's why we have their name and phone number on the website. And if, I'll always help you also if you want to get in contact. But it's either or. And the reason we do that is so that if the applicant doesn't contact the right person, that the residents always have the ability to be able to reach out if they would like to have conversations.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mary. John, I see you next. Please go ahead.
My name is John Center. I've lived at 3rd Avenue overlooking East 10th Street for 25 years. I testified before this committee previously. In fact, 20 months ago regarding the same address as this applicant. Then we presented a petition of opposition from more than 100 neighbors. The pandemic has restricted my outreach. Tonight, I'm speaking for myself, but others do agree with what I'll say. I'm opposed to an OP full liquor license at 58 3rd Avenue. We already have an oversaturation of liquor licenses. I believe this application likely significantly underreported the numbers of nearby licenses. I ask for truth in advertising. Ensure that the applicant provides backup for their data. And this application should not be approved by this committee and CB3 until we're certain the data are accurate. I see the applicant's premises from my bedroom window. Many small children live in our large building. Noise from rooftop parties and outdoor nightlife patrons has been a real quality of life issue in our neighborhood for too long. Hard liquor and late closing hours often exacerbate the problem. I request that this applicant be a good neighbor. Stipulate to having this restaurant empty of patrons by 11 p.m. Sundays through Thursdays, and long-term, no later than 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Granting an OP full liquor license will set a bad precedent. This applicant's business success must not come at their neighbor's expense. For the last 2 operators at this location, the licenses were for beer, wine only. That's my request tonight. Prove yourself and your operation before requesting a full license. On community outreach, it's a shame that it's no longer required by CB3, but it seems minimal or non-existent by this applicant. Yes, I saw a meeting notice posted on the premises, perhaps one nearby, but I learned about this application from local press reports at CB3's website, not from the applicant. I urge you to deny this application. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Laura Sewell, I see you next. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Hi. So I'm hearing the sort of healthy food concept explained, but I'm also just looking at the applicant's history, which includes, managing Beauty and Essex and Stanton Social, that we think of as, sort of destination clubs. So there's just a little bit of a disconnect there, and I was hoping to hear more about, like, I can see why full liquor is a requirement for that sort of operation if it's more of a club, but it just sounds a little different from what's being explained to us here. So if it's truly like a natural, healthy restaurant, why can't we just start with beer and wine as, the residents' request?
Michelle, you can go ahead.
Okay. Working at Beauty Nexus and Stanton Social was just more of my work history. I just happened to be able to go and get a job there. It's just in addition to my resume. It has nothing to do with, my goals, my dreams of opening up my own business. The whole reason why I wanted to do this was because it's always been my dream. In regards to the healthy concept, it's just another offering that we can give to customers if they were interested, and I plan to go ahead and use like fresh juices in order to make cocktails with that, so it complies with more of my brand.
Okay.
But this is not going to be, it's not going to be similar to Beauty and Essex or Stanton Social. Like Michelle said, it's just kind of her that's where she got started in the industry, but it was more of, I guess a job for her. This has been her passion.
Okay, thank you. Susan, do you want to just clarify about the healthy eating as a community benefit?
Well, I would say it would fall into that category because historically the example we always gave of a community benefit would be like a kosher restaurant. And so I would say gluten-free and vegan would also fall under that type of category as a community benefit.
Thanks. Anyone from the committee have any questions?
What are the times again, Michelle?
I'm sorry? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm confusing. During the week, Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Friday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m.
I don't oppose to that.
Can you just one thing, have you changed your menu since you submitted it to us?
No.
It's not vegan.
Not everything's vegan. It's gluten-free and vegan based. You can add a protein to it if you like.
Okay.
It gives an option to everybody. But
vegan options.
Yeah, but mainly it's all, the main base of my proteins is chicken and salmon and shrimp.
Okay. Herman?
Oh, I'm fine with the hours and the operations. I have no problem with it.
Okay. David?
Yeah, these are clearly restaurant hours and it's on an avenue, so.
And can you commit to serving Michelle, can you commit to serving food during all hours of operation?
Yes, I fully intend to.
Okay. Okay. Well, our straw poll suggests we are ready to move to the making of a resolution, if that's okay, committee, unless you have any other questions. It's getting late. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move into the making of a resolution. Share this. Okay. Just make sure also applicant, please, that this is all accurate. 8 tables, 42 seats, 1 5-foot rectangle bar, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Friday to Saturday. Healthy Asian fare with the gluten-free and vegan options, prepared in a full kitchen.
Yep, everything's
That this
That
description.
all looks,
Okay.
yeah, that all looks accurate.
Okay. I'll add in Laura. Actually, I don't know. Laura, were you in opposition to this or just asking for clarifying?
Thanks. Generally, we would be opposed to full liquor in a previously, in a space that didn't have it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, and here are the stipulations. Any committee, anything you want to add, change?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'm just going to read out the full stipulations for the applicant so we can make sure that we are on the same page. Let me share this. Okay. For a full on-premises liquor license, you'll operate a full-service restaurant with Asian healthy fare with a kitchen open during all hours of operation, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday to Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Friday to Saturday. Sorry. You already have soundproofing installed. You'll close any front or rear facade doors at 10 p.m. or when amplified sound is playing, as you heard from our previous applicants. No DJs, no live music, no promote events, no event at which a cover fee is charged, and no scheduled performances. You will play ambient recorded background music only. You will not apply for an alteration. You'll not seek a change in class. You already have that. I will not participate in pub crawls or have party buses come to your establishment. No unlimited drink specials, no happy hours, no wait lines. You'll have a person on staff responsible for making sure that there are no unruly crowds outside. You'll post the stipulation at your business, and residents may contact you, Michelle, at 646-270-3692. Does that all sound right?
Yes, correct.
Yes, that sounds good.
Great. Okay, so now we will move into the vote. Okay, Jesse Beck,
Yes.
David Crane,
Yes.
Herman Hewitt,
Yes.
Paul Sierras,
Yes.
Michelle Coopersmith. Yes. Okay. Thank you, committee. Thank you, applicants, for coming tonight, and for the members of the community who showed up to speak about this. The office will send.
Thank you.
Ben will send you the stipulations tomorrow morning. Please sign, notarize, and return them expediently. It will make everyone's life easier.
We will. And when's the full board meeting?
Not for 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, and of course, I forgot to say, can we count this as our last vote? Parliamentarian, do we need to do another vote?
I don't think so. Did we do a first vote, by the way? But in any
We
case,
did. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I wasn't here. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I will count that as our last vote. Thank you, committee, very much. Thank you, Jesse, so much for helping with Zoom. I really appreciate it. Oops, sorry. We will see everyone again on next Monday, this coming Monday.
Everyone.
Nice to see you.